Hi, everyone. I hope you all are doing well. I typically do not do live videos because it just seems like here lately my signal can be a little bit crazy or whatever up here. But anyway, of course, everyone already knows me. Like, I'm Victoria Baxter. Of course, for those who do not know, I'm also a certified life dating and relationship coach with New Thing Life Coaching as the New Love Strategist. I love working with single Christian women to help them win at love on many different ways. But at the end of the day, listen, for the longest time, I was saying that I was going to do this video, and I'm just now getting around to do it because I saw that like last week, I want to say sometime, there was a viral text thread that was going around, talking about something that took place between a man and a woman that were dating and trying to figure out, like who was actually in the wrong. Was it him or was it her? Everyone had a lot of insightful things to say as far as the situation was concerned. Honestly, truth be told, everybody does a lot of stuff for attention nowadays. I was not even really entirely sure if the video or if the text thread was even real, because sadly, some people do love attention so much to the point that they will like text themselves messages and put it up to say, what do y'all think about this? I don't know. But anyways, if you did not see the text thread that I am talking about, it was like shortly after midnight. And this woman, was texting, this man, even addressing him as baby, saying like, hey, like I need to talk to you, whatever the case might be, whatever, because something was bothering her. And she was asking him like, hey, who am I to you? Nothing wrong there. That's something I tell women all the time. If you are trying to figure out where you stand with the man, I need you to open your mouth and ask him so that you would actually know. Like, I know some people say a man would never have you in a position where you would ever have to guess or wonder. Whatever, if you're not sure, ask the question and just kind of let me be, let it be that. So his response ended up being like, you're my girl, like what are you talking about? But of course for her it was, pressing a little bit more like, what do you call this relationship? So first he said you're my girl, and then he was like, you're my friend, like this is friendship. So then she's like, okay, friendship, like where we actually have sex, I come over, I do your laundry, like I do everything for you. He's like, look, can we skip this? Like I just want to go to sleep. Wow, first and foremost, like your friend who you first said like you're my girl, but she is like, look, I'm just trying to get some clarity. But he's like, yeah, I don't really got time for this, like I'm ready to go lay down and go to sleep. But anyways, so her whole thing was like, look, how can I wait 6 months like this? Like you need to confirm what I am to you. Well, you pressing for something where apparently he already confirmed it. Like he just said, like you're my friend, this is a friendship, like it is what it is. So now she's annoyed because she wasn't really getting much of a response from him. And she's like, I'm thinking of, he's finally said like, I'm thinking of what it is, that I'm actually going to respond. I'm trying to see like what to say in reference to what it is that you actually just said to me. And then finally he came with those words where he was like, you know what, I never asked you to do any of those things. Like oh my god, like how dare he? Like, and I know a lot of people were kind of thrown off by that one, but at the end of the day, I'm sorry, but it's like dude was right. Because she was like, how can you call me a friend? How can this not be a relationship when I've been doing all of these different things for the past 6 months? But he had already said, like, he goes on to say like, hey, like I told you when we first met that I was broken, I was not ready for a relationship, like I had just got out of something. He was like, and you're the one who went and caught feelings. And then she decided to stay in this, even knowing that he had already said like there was no assurance from him, like this is not a relationship, like I'm not looking for that right now. So she's again rattling off the list of all the different things that she's done. So right now it seems like one of the big things has been at this point, like who was wrong in this situation? Like was she wrong for doing all of those things even though he had already said I don't want a relationship? Was he wrong for leading her on? I don't really know. Listen, at the end of the day, people always say that communication is the most important aspect of a relationship. But like I tell people, like, yeah, communication is important. But at the end of the day, comprehension is more important than communication. All right. Because when you look at the actual definition of communication, it says it is the imparting or exchanging of information or news. Like pretty much at its simplest form, it is the act of transferring information from one person to another. So that's cool. You can communicate all day long, but comprehension is understanding what's been communicated. And I'm just like, ladies, at the end of the day, like for the love of God, like for the love of me, like Even as it says in the Bible, like, I charge you by the gazelles and by the does of the field, do not awaken love until it is like until it is so desired. Like, seriously, we've got to stop doing this. And I realize that so many women do it. Like, this man communicated things to her clearly. And I don't think that he was 100% innocent. Don't get me wrong. And I'll definitely touch on that. But it's like at the end of the day, like, this man already told her, I am not looking for a relationship. I don't want that. And it's like women hear that. And of course, we already know, like, there's a difference between hearing and listening. Because hearing is what? Hearing means like audibly, like I'm able to perceive sound. Listening means I am consciously putting forth effort to actually process what somebody is saying to me. So he communicated things, but what she heard was, I don't want a relationship. But what she channels that as, do everything anyway in hopes that he'll end up picking me. And that's where we need to be careful. Sometimes she did all that in hopes to change his thought. Exactly, Samantha. Like, that is exactly what the heck ends up happening. And unfortunately, like, it's not the first, like, so many women have done that. So many women do that. So many women are in situations like that, even right now. And truth be told, like, y'all know, again, with me, I also do like a lot of inner healing coaching and stuff like that. So at the end of the day, like, I'm always talking about like abandonment issues, because like I know it gets talked about a lot, but I feel like some people really don't understand it. And there are a lot of things that women do when it comes to like fear of abandonment. So it's like they'll do anything when it comes to like people pleasing, connecting to men who already said they don't want a relationship, because now it's like, if I can get him to actually be in a relationship with me, then I won't be abandoned. I'll actually be loved after all. Then of course there's the whole self-love deficit disorder. You really don't love yourself the way you should. So you latch on to anyone in hopes of actually, being loved or getting whatever the case might be from them. I always talk about pica syndrome. Of course, like when you're pregnant, and a lot of times women will end up craving non-food items, and it's like you want baking soda and cornstarch and all this other good stuff. It's because your body is missing something. But when I work with women, especially those who have any type of abandonment issues, I'm like, look, there's also present inadequacies caused by abandonment. So a lot of times, like, our habits and connecting with men who already said they don't want something, like, we do that because we've been abandoned, and we have that fear that it's going to happen again. And it's like, no, I need this person to stay connected to me. Now, make no mistakes, I'm not giving him no free pass. All right, we just not going to do that. Because I think at the end of the day, and I'm not going to give him a free pass, because truth be told, I think men forget that it's like, we need your protection, like even now as well. Like, helping us when it comes to protecting our hearts. And it's like thinking of your daughters, how you would want someone to treat your sister, all of those things. So I'm not saying that he was like 100% cool with the way he handled it. However, at the end of the day, like, ladies, come on, like, ladies have to do better in this situation. Because again, like, we'll end up saying that we want one thing, like we desire one thing, but then it's like we'll give all of our men before they even say that they want us. Like, a lot of them, like, they don't even want us. Like, listen, just because he calls you bae, just because he takes you on dates, he might even give it to you good. If you're out having sex or whatever, like, cool. Like, he can make love to you and put it down the whole nine. And I get it, because I'm not trying to be funny, and I'm just like, hoping my son is not going to end up watching on this. But I've been in situations where it's like, I've been in a bed with the man, and you can have like some really good sex, but that could just be his sex style. All right. At the end of the day, he just might be someone who's a love maker. Like, you can't think that kisses and whatever else actually means that you're special. And it doesn't mean that he's making love. And it doesn't mean that he loves you. And how many men are actually going to turn down some hoo-ha? Like, let's be real at the end of the day. But I'll also mention, I've talked about this before, like having unwanted sex willingly. So it's not that someone forced it, took it, or whatever else. But a lot of times women will have sex even when they really don't want to. But again, abandonment. It's like people pleasing. And it's like, especially in relationships, women will do it from a point of like anything to please their partner. Anything for their partner to be happy, or, feeling some type of way, or whatever, whatever the case might be, they will do that. And it's like, we definitely have to stop doing that. All right. And listen, it's like one thing that man said in that text, after she had accused him of using her, dude actually said, no, like, you used yourself. You don't know the importance of communication in relationships. Whew, listen, all right. Like, when I read that, like, I was just kind of like, that's exactly, like, he communicated that. But again, you heard what you wanted to hear, and a lot of us have done that. A lot of us are doing that. Like those who are enrolled in and currently enrolled in Simplicity, like my 4-week dating masterclass, like heard me talking about communicating. Like I talk about that a lot. Like even with dating or whatever, communication is important of every single aspect and stage of a relationship. And you can't be mad at someone who you never communicated like to or with about certain things. But of course, in this stage and in this thing of what we see going on, he communicated. It's something if like he never communicated. If a man never actually says like, oh, like we're together or let's just, whatever else the case might be, he went through all of that. He went through all of those things, and we have to stop making assumptions based on actions and based on what's actually going on. And something I talk about a lot all the time, like there are 5 stages, like to intimacy and to the natural progression of a relationship. And stage 3 is where the most assumptions actually get made, because stage 3 is when you're really just considered romantic friends. But a lot of times, again, women they're going on dates. You may have, kissed, hugged, maybe you have already had sex. I don't really know. But again, romantic, it can just mean that, obviously there's some type of romance there. But at the end of the day, I said romantic what? Friends. This is where you have to ask the important questions. This is where you're trying to figure out, like, what are we doing? Like, what's going on? Where do you see this going? What do you see me as? What do you want from me? What do you want in general? Like, and of course for me, like I have no filter. A lot of people know, like, so I'm going to say what I want. Like, I'm going to ask questions the whole night. Like, you looking for a wife? You looking for sex? Like I need to know, because I'm not wasting my time. And I don't want to waste yours either. And I know how my crazy can be set up a little bit. So I don't really got time for that. But men, we also need y'all, again, to do better. And if you already know that you've communicated with a woman, like where you stand at the end of the day, but like you see where her head is at, again, like protect her. Like just back off and like just don't do it. Like don't get involved with it. But at the same time, ladies, I'm not gonna get like I'm about to end this, all right? I'm not gonna get it even all spiritual. I think there is absolutely a good reason why the Bible has like more instructions for women than men. All right. I realize that a lot of times, like, and I'll hush as far as that's concerned. We just need to keep in mind a man is always speaking. And at the end of the day, like we need to learn how to listen. But don't listen with your heart. Because a lot of y'all, like, even the Bible says, like, the heart is fickle. Don't listen with your heart. Don't listen with your pain. Don't listen with your desires. Don't listen with your wishes. Like, don't listen with the fantasy. Don't listen with the abandonment. Like, don't listen with any of those other things that are going to trip you up. The only thing I need you to listen to is exactly what the heck that man tells you. Listen to exactly what he says. Like, we got to learn to level up. Like, we got to wise up. We got to stop tripping. We got to play it cool. We got to stop doing the most. And it's like at the end of the day, like we really are too powerful and too dope to be doing the most over these dusty, celery smelling men's. Like, and we got to keep in mind, as I always say, like we are human beings. You are called to just be who you are. We are not human doings where we need to be doing the absolute most. Especially Christian women. It's like if you're gonna call yourself like a woman of God and a daughter of a king, then I really need you to like take back your power and act like it. Like that's what Monday's 2-night class is all about. Feminine development. Taking back your power to like not be tripping. But at the end of the day, we got to stop blaming men. That's what we have to do, especially when we are willing accomplices in these dusty streets. Listen, I always say like it's greasy out here. Like I get it. Like dating today is very ghetto. Like it really is, but it doesn't have to be. That's the problem. Like it's ghetto out here. It's a little bit ashy, but it doesn't have to be. It's really just because we've overcomplicated it. Like that's why I did that whole simplicity class. Like we're either trying to spiritualize it, we're trying to go too deep, we're trying to beat the next person, we're trying to get them before they get us, we're trying to be tough, we're trying to rewrite stuff. Like it's just a mess. Like we got men acting like women, women trying to be men, like everyone operating from a place of fear. It's like just communicate, make sure you comprehend, make sure you decide to be honest, and make sure you move accordingly. All right, that's all I wanted to say. I just really wanted to touch on that video for like, how long I've been talking? I think only like 5 minutes. Ladies, take back your power and stop hoping that a man will change based on the things you do. Like, stop auditioning, stop trying to prove your worth, stop giving your all in hopes that someone will pick you. Like, stop thinking that you need a man when it says that it is not good for a man to be alone. Like, there's one that needs you. But it's understanding, like, you can't force yourself upon someone, and you can't force them to, like, need you. You can't force them to want you. You can't force them to love you. You can't do any of those things. And you have to deal with whatever issues that you have going on inside of you that might cause you to get to that point. And again, yeah, I know I come for women a lot. I work with women, I don't work with men. So somebody else gonna have to talk to the men about some of these other things as far as that. And if any men pop on, hopefully they'll take something from it, because yeah, some men, again, y'all good from it. Well, I already told you what it was, but like I said, you saw Shorty over there like catching feelings and doing all of this stuff. But somebody else can deal. I'm not dealing with no men. Ladies, I need y'all to work on that, all right? And again, if you're interested, you can join the feminine development class that I'm starting on Monday. www.thejalministry.com/her power. But at the end of the day, be great. Listen to what a man says. Kind of let that be that, and just don't lose yourself in the idea of like a fantasy or like a potential or a possibility. Because a lot of these men, they dusty. Like, don't go through all that for someone who's not worth it. Like, and somebody like that, well, I mean, I could say he wasn't worth it because he already said, like, look, I'm hurting. Like, I just got out of something. I don't want anything. And I think we sometimes forget, like, men have feelings too. Like, they have emotions too. So it's like, of course, if he just got out of something rough, and it's like, here is somebody, like, doing all of these different things, giving him a little bit of attention. I don't know. Can't really fault him. I don't know. I just kind of leave that and let that be that. Y'all have a fantastic Friday. That's all I wanted to say. All right, I'm done. I'm out. I'm gonna stop. I didn't talk. Well, I didn't really talk too long. That's all I wanted to say. But anyone want to talk to me? You already know. You can hop in my inbox. We can chit chat about whatever the case might be. I pray that y'all have a fantastic Friday, and I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.